Hey, today I decided I'm going to install a dual intake system on this truck, since I do like the one two side of the intake to two individual tubes and two individual air cleaners. I think that's better than two feeding one. So I went with this Injen dual air filter intake, since I believe that will breathe a lot better than just a single filter, a boxed filter at that, where two nice big cone filters will breathe even better. So we're going to look inside the box and organize the parts. Here's the instructions, the destructions. Nice dual intake. There's some of the instructions. Alright. Interesting. Alright. Paper. Here's one of the inlet tube. Here's the other inlet tube. Hardware. One air filter. And two air filter. And here's the box. Air box. This is the box. It's going to replace the air filter. So here's all the parts. And first thing I'm going to do is remove the old intake, which is pretty much clamp, bolt, a few clips, take off these clips, and remove the whole entire box in one thing. There's another clamp there, got to take off. So basically have to get it from a few different areas and take that whole inlet off. So more to follow. Okay, I'll start removing some stuff here. This thing here. Use this nice little tool here and a screwdriver to remove these clips. One clip. And two clip, another clip. Okay, looks to be 13 millimeter. Oh. There we go. 13 millimeter or a half an inch. Move this thing here. Ratchet. This tube here. Hose clamp, and a couple clips over here. here comes this part of the box. You can see the air mod I did a lot easier now that the box is off. Okay, now then, next is taking off a hose clamp that's kind of hard to get to. It's down here, so it's kind of a little more challenging than the top hose. Undoing it, quite the work. I'm doing a flathead screwdriver hose clamp that's kind of hard to see. You just have to feel it with your hand. There's one and two. 3. Oh crap. Always something. And you have to pull this little thing out counterclockwise. Little sensor. Another thing gone. There we go. Just kind of push on the clip. Pop this out. We'll be putting this on later on. Put on the new intake. So I'll set it somewhere safe where this thing doesn't get ruined. Okay. Now the old intake is removed. Put this bad boy together. Alright, let's look at all the hardware. We've got tubes. Tube. Yep, there's a tube. And another tube. And there's where that intake sensor is going to go. Just have to find the rest of the stuff. Okay. Okay, well, that's not going to come off of there. So, instructions. This is something I already did. There's a little tube, and that goes inside the intake right next to the turbocharger inlet. And the slanted side faces the turbo compressor inlet. That just pushes inside. That's where your crankcase or cam cover breather goes to in the intake. In my case, there's a catch can going to and from there. So I've already done this step. Okay. Crankcase sensor, fitting, oil fill. Okay, this is interesting. Alright, picture should explain 1,000 words, I hope. Instructions. Okay. Alright, stock intake. I took off the stock intake, that's already done. The clips are gone. Temperature sensor, there we go. That's what I have to figure out where to put on the new thing. Okay. Loosen and remove temperature sensor out of stock intake. Locate the bolt in the radiator. Locate bolt holding in the radiator. Support loosen bolt. Save bolt for later install. Okay. Install the vinyl trim. So next is to install the little vinyl trim things inside these holes, which is pretty easy to figure out. Inside the package, here's an intake tube, and these are the wraps to wrap the insides with. Okay, this is the outside wrap. These wrap the insides of the tube, it looks like. Or these do. Well, we will find out. Alright, here's a couple hose clamps. Hose clamp and a thing. Okay. And hardware. I think there's some more things to this kit. I'll unwrap this. Here's one of the air cleaners. That's what it looks like. And here's the other air cleaner. Like opening Christmas presents, isn't it? Alright. Trim. Vinyl trim. It's really small vinyl trim. Okay, so vinyl trim. Vinyl trim. Okay. Small one goes in here, big one goes in here. There we go, vinyl trim. Getting in there pretty good. This is how you put the vinyl trim in. Then you put these things and this big thing on the box, and I'll come back. Well, after a lot of work, there's where that screw goes. Small air filter, bigger air filter, grommets, one hose, air temp sensor, hose clamp. I also put a heat shield before the intake manifold. The hose coming from the intercooler just before it hits the intake manifold got a nice big piece of hood insulation to put between there so the radiator air will not get my intercooler air hose hot. So that's one of the things I did, as well as install this new intake kit. See that hood heat shield. Basically took some hood heat shield, basically cut it to fit, and put it between the coolant tank and the after intercooler tube leading to the intake manifold. so that hot air from the fan isn't going to blow on the intake tube anymore. So it should keep my intake temperatures a lot cooler, as well as this new air cleaner kit. There's a nice box, and the cool air comes in and feeds both those air cleaners, and this should be better than my current intake. So, much better intake system. Yeah, looks pretty good. Individual intake per turbo. Individual. So I got a twin intake, twin turbo, with, of course, nice free flow exhaust. Well, this is the new intake. I like it a lot better than the factory, even the modified factory, because one inlet per turbo, I like that a lot better. That's a lot more air filter combined, one for each turbo. So the engine should breathe a lot better, and hope you like this video, and please subscribe and share and ring the bell for notifications, and have a great day. Mad boosting.